Hello, everyone. My name is Lambert, and I'm a graduating senior. I've attended this church since November 2005. My family and I moved back to Pasadena after living in Alabama for several years. The earliest memories I have from my life are living in Alabama, so coming to California was very new for me. I was 7 years old. We had always attended church back east, so we were interested in finding a new congregation. We quickly found FUMC and knew it was the right place to be. I went to Sunday school for a few years, and in the fall of 2011, joined the youth group. My sister, Elizabeth Clare, had played Judas in the summer musical Godspell that year. I had refused to audition. I was mortified of being in front of people, and I had no interest in performing, much less playing music for a living. After a year of being in the youth group and connecting with people, I was convinced to audition for the Drowsy Chaperone, summer of 2012. I had been to Colorado for the mission trip in June, and I was excited to spend more time with friends, even if it was in a musical. I ended up loving every moment, from rehearsals to the adrenaline of being on stage to striking the set. I had more fun than I ever expected that summer, and it was made possible by the incredible resources and people that our church has available. The musical knowledge and leadership of Cynthia Crass, Tom Sharp, Mark Goldstein, Megan Goldstein, Krista Hayes, Rob Hayes, Pastor Greg, and for a short time, Sebastian and CJ, was something that I didn't expect to find at a church. I've had such an amazing experience working with all of these people, and I thank them. I've learned so much about myself and what is possible. With them in mind, I work every day to become a better musician, squeezing in those extra hours of practice. I was homeschooled all my life until fall 2014, my junior year, when I began taking classes at Pasadena City College. Throughout middle and high school, this congregation was my #1 outlet for making friends and ultimately experiencing life outside of school. The most powerful and memorable relationships I've ever had have come from this church family. I know that I will always be welcome in this place and with the people whom I've met. I still need 30 more units before I can transfer, so I'll be in Pasadena in the fall and spring. I'll make a special effort to come to church when I can. As far as my faith, I've decided that I do believe God exists. He exists in me and in all of my friends. I've experienced the Holy Spirit in this place with all of you, and I know that it will never leave me. Thanks.
Good morning. I am Susanne Carpenter, and I will be attending Loyola Marymount University this coming fall in hopes of pursuing a degree in biology with a minor in art and design. I kept putting off writing my speech because I wanted so much for it to be perfect. I was hoping it would accurately reflect my feelings toward this congregation, which to me seems like a daunting task. I was baptized here, I was raised here, and I wanted this milestone to be just as beautiful as the time I have spent at FUMC. And as it turns out, preparing this sermon was as easy as anything, because I've always known what it is I needed to say in this brief moment I have in front of you. I did not want to present a goodbye or see you later, but I needed to spend what little time I have up in front of here to say thank you. This church has been the foundation of my childhood and young adulthood, and when I look out into the congregation today, I do not feel nostalgia or sadness. What I feel most is gratitude. Over these past 17 years, I've moved through all the Sunday school classrooms, taken part in some pretty competitive Easter egg hunts, sold quite a few root beer floats for Heifer Project, served at Union Station, played hide and seek in these very pews, and performed many roles throughout my time in the drama and music department, from Mary the Virgin to Kitty to Smee. FUMC embodies all the aspects I find most important. I am constantly surrounded by an open, welcoming community and a safe place to grow and be myself. You've taught me that caring for others, being present, and being willing isn't a hobby, it's a way of life. FUMC has also embraced me in so many ways. The youth program especially has supported me through countless sunburns during our annual summer tours, weeks of sleep-deprived nights where nothing seems to make sense anymore, startling 8 a.m. choir call times, And of course, they have come to be my sisters and brothers. Although FUMC has given me a lot, and I am infinitely grateful for all the love that I have received, it has never handed me anything on a silver platter. This year especially, it has challenged me and pushed me to my limits. But this youth group, this church, and its openness have helped me become the person I want to be and open my eyes to the countless ways God works in our lives. FUMC has given me a starting place in the church. It's given me a community to take ownership over and to nurture for future generations. As I stand here, it's a bittersweet moment as I realize that FUMC will continue to progress while I'm away. But I am confident in the abilities of my younger peers and honored to have had time thus far with them. Every day that I was here, whether it be for a service, youth group, Girl Scouts, or performance, you've made me feel like I was your everything. That is what makes this such a special place, as we are all part of a family. We leave preconceived notions at the door and love one another for who we all are. From the youth leaders, Sunday school teachers, service organizers, maintenance staff members, and especially our pastors. And to all of the youth, I want to thank you for all the memories. I hope that you know how much you've influenced the person that I've become. For all that you have given me, I thank you, because it was everything I could have asked for. Thank you.
Okay. Morning! So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Noelie, and I moved here about 2 years ago, and I joined the church in the fall of 2014. So, since I was born, moving has been a huge part of my life. My dad works for the Foreign Service, so we usually move every 2 to 3 years. The longest I've lived anywhere is 7 years, and I'm only 18, so that's a really long time for me. And all of this moving means I've gone to a lot of churches. But there was always one I would consider my home church until FUMC. And this church was First United Methodist Church in Shadyside, Maryland. It was a small church in a small town, and I have a lot of fond memories of the people who I often look to as my second parents or my second grandparents. They helped me learn what it means to be a Christian and helped me to shape my own faith. Watching Miss Elaine spend hours at church either talking with people or being active in some sort of ministry helped me to see that being a Christian meant helping others, especially those who needed it, such as the families in Shadyside that we bought presents for every year because they needed a little extra just to make sure Christmas happened. Now, Miss Elaine was everything I always wanted to be, very active in the church and very strong in her faith. Whenever you needed something, she was always willing to try or willing to help you find someone who could help you. And moving to FUMC was a huge change for me. This church is a lot bigger, and so is the youth group, as you can see. And in the past few weeks, but this youth group in church has helped me to grow in my own faith and become a better Christian. And now, in the past few weeks, we made faith statements with Paul and Jonathan. And sitting there trying to sum up my faith in a few sentences made me realize just how much I've grown in my faith in the past 2 years. I sat there trying to come up with something that would make sense and represent what my faith means to me, especially when I'm trying to tell others what it means. And I had a lot of trouble. Now, 2 years ago, my faith statement would have been much easier to come up with and a lot more simplistic. And some of it is I'm growing up, and as Sandy said a few weeks ago, your faith grows and changes as you do. But a lot of it is a new church with a new, more diverse youth group. You all have challenged me in my faith, making me grow as a person and therefore grow in my faith, and I thank you for that.
Good morning. My name is Elaine Wittry, and I've been attending this church as long as I can remember. FUMC was part of my life since I was a baby. I was baptized here, went to Sunday school here, met some of my closest friends here. This community has shaped my life in so many ways. I have made so many lifelong friends and memories here, like being a sheep in my first Christmas pageant and forming the church Girl Scout troop with my friends. I remember first learning to sing in Miss Barbara's cherub choir, where we would be given graham crackers and apple juice, and later learning to play handbells with Megan. It is through these activities that I developed my love for music. Being a part of this church has helped me grow as both a person and in my faith. The support of everyone here, especially Pam Marks, Cynthia Crass, Krissa Hayes, Megan Goldstein, Allison Mark, Mrs. Elrod, the In family, the Carpenter family, and the Johnston family, has helped shape me into who I am today. The kindness and compassion of this church family has helped me realize what it means to be a true Christian. I feel like I've become a better person thanks to the examples set before me in this church. When I was younger, I did not totally understand the concept of faith and of Christianity. I thought that church was just another place to come and to play with my friends. It took me a while to realize the importance of my faith, but once I did, it was life-changing. I now have the strength and courage to stand up for what is right and to make the world a better place. I know that God will be with me and help me as I go forward in life and will forgive me for my mistakes. I'm also so grateful to everyone in youth group. Even though I'm a pretty quiet person and have not been as actively involved in youth, I've still gained so much from being a part of it. Everyone in youth has been so welcoming and friendly, and I've really enjoyed spending time with them over the past several years. Participating in the summer musical and going on tour with them have been some of the best experiences of my life. As I venture out into the world to attend college at UC Berkeley, I will take the memories and lessons with me that I've learned here. Even though I will be far away physically, this church and everyone in it will remain close in my heart. Thank you.
Hello again. I have a lot of memories in this church, from graham crackers, apple juice, and singing in our little khaki robes to our Mother's Day pageants. I remember my friends and I wanting to start a club so we could hang out longer together, and our parents being wise made that club Girl Scout Troop 5291. So we could learn life skills, experience camping, and let's be honest, it looks really good on college applications. We have had numerous summer musicals, summer tours, potlucks, cabarets. Youth is the reason I ever took my first plane ride or have been ziplining, which led to my first time dislocating a finger, but that didn't matter because I was with my friends having an amazing time. I've also learned a lot in this church, not just that there's 3 really creepy basements, a not-so-secret hallway between the children's choir room and the 3rd to 5th graders' room, and not just that Mary and Joseph traveled to Bethlehem to give birth to Jesus, or that Cain and Abel were brothers, or the books of the Bible song. I learned about myself, about others, about community, about God and faith, and about how all those things are connected. I learned that I'm a Christian on my own and not just because of my mom. I learned how special and important friends are. I found out the importance of helping others and that even a little goes a long way. And lastly, I learned that this church and all of the people in it are a huge part of who I am today. Our youth theme being diamond and how it becomes that from heat and pressure made me realize that this church, by putting pressure on me or encouraging me to do things like going to meetings, being worship representative, to join choir, go to youth, be in musicals, go on tour, help out, and do community service, and to just always try and be the best person that I could be. All of this, I believe, has made the best qualities I have. It has reminded me constantly of who I am, what to say and do, and who I want to be in life. If not for this church community, I would not be confident in saying goodbye to my youth group and going to college in the fall. I wouldn't have the stance in my faith I do now, and I definitely wouldn't have the most amazing, loving, lifelong friendships I found here. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mira. I'm a senior at South Pasadena High School. I've been attending FUMC Pasadena for my entire life and have enjoyed every moment of it. When I entered the youth group in September of 2010, I was very lost. It was the transition of being a kid who sings in the cantate choir to one of those cool kids who meets on Sunday nights for choir and youth group. On my first night, everyone felt so much older, in a different place in their life, and have established themselves in a close friend group. Luckily, I got to know Chris Moran, Ryo Miyasaka, Dale Case, Nick Vogt, and Brian In, who welcomed me into the youth group with open arms. From then on, I made a commitment to myself that I would be just as welcoming and loving to everyone in the youth group as they were to me, and from there, welcoming everyone into this church. For some people, church is a room you come into on Sunday mornings, and that's pretty much it. That's not the case for me. To me, church is a place where we can come together to do community service, to read and understand scripture together, to express ourselves through music, theater, and art, and to form relationships that will last a lifetime. And from these relationships, that we could choose to grow together as brothers and sisters of Christ. For me, once I found my niche, my faith grew stronger over time. There's so many things I love about this church, too many to list this morning. But just to name a few, I love quilting with Ermgard and all the dedicated quilters on Saturday mornings, doing kickball changes during summer musicals, singing songs down by the campfire at Camp Sky Meadows, playing sardines in the evenings during youth group, singing songs in the car with Olivia and Sammy to get baby Kyra to stop crying. I have so many things to be grateful about this church. Sorry. Thanks, Noelie. She's the bomb. Okay. I've experienced the nurturing love offered by so many people. There are too many to name this morning because I'm on a strict time limit and for this speech, and if I don't hurry up, Greg might start playing the organ to get me off the stage. I do, however, want to recognize all of my Sunday school teachers for all of your hard work helping us understand the Bible and nurturing our faith. Megan, Krissa, and Cynthia for teaching me how to be a better singer and musician. My youth counselors for always showing your love for us. All of our pastors for giving me new perspectives on the world. Oh, I'm really grateful for Noelie. Pam Marks, who wrote and directed all of our children's pageants, made dozens and dozens of costumes, put in countless hours into the church, and being the lady who works behind the scenes. Paul Audley, who dedicated so much time and offered his wise words and a sympathetic ear, and always keeps everyone on track. And Allison Mark, for seriously being the second mother and the biggest influence on my faith. Okay. Next fall, I'll be attending Pasadena City College to study communications. So it won't be goodbye from me for now. I'll still be helping my grandma serve coffee and lemonade every Sunday after church during coffee hour, so we'll see you there. And thank you for so much and for nurturing me.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Wesley In, and in the fall, I will also be attending Loyola Marymount University. It's funny to me that I'll be attending a religious/Jesuit school because growing up, I didn't like coming to church. That's being honest. It wasn't my thing. So I definitely didn't like staying up on stage or singing with the cherub choir, and I could often be found hiding under this very communion table or attached to the leg of our choir director, Krissa. However, my dad was one of the Sunday school teachers, and coming to church was probably to me, it was just one of those things we had to do. Okay. This all changed in 7th grade when I entered the youth group, and my super awesome spiritual faith Jesus journey started. I was introduced to what the bigger kids did on Sunday nights, or at least that's how I saw it. At youth, I discovered a place to be comfortable, and a place where I was free to speak my mind. Oh, and I can't forget about the delicious meal that was always there. But Sunday nights were always a special time for me. It was a time to relax and enjoy the good company of my fellow youth while growing my faith with God. Now, I'm sure everyone in this room knows the church song. I don't know what that's the actual name of it, but that's what I always called it. Feel free to sing along. It goes something like, I am the church, you are the church, we are the church together. All who follow Jesus all around the world, Yes, we're the church together. Yeah, okay. Now, no, we sang that for a good reason, don't worry. Some of the reasons I did enjoy coming to church as a youngster were to find all those secret passageways and secret hiding spots and play on that basketball court. But the true church that I came to was all of you. Yes, we're the church together. And yes, you all helped me grow my faith spiritually and grow as a person. And I thank you for that. I want to thank my parents. Always thank your parents, even if it's the Grammys. But I want to thank my parents for always loving me and supporting me. There's a long list of friends I could also name, but that would take forever, and we only have 3 minutes. However, when I think about it, I don't have friends at this church. I have family. I found brothers and sisters and aunties and uncles, and even second moms and dads. But don't real mom and dad, wherever you are. Nothing can ever compare to you guys. Okay, this church is my family. The youth group became my family. So thank you to the congregation and to my fellow youth. For I would not be the person I am today without any of you guys. I would probably still be that little shy communion table kid. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow congregation. If you don't know me, my name is Ryo Miyasaka, and I have been a member of this church for now about 8 years. I am currently attending South Pasadena High School and will be graduating in a couple of days. In the fall, I will be attending Pasadena City College, where I will be starting to pursue my major in social work. Most of you might know me through my brother Hajime, who is still currently fighting ALS. Well, I did his senior speech a couple of years ago, and now it's my turn to do mine. My family was never religious, but somehow we found God. We first started going to a Seventh-day Adventist and then to some other church. Maybe a year goes by, and my sister started going to preschool at this church. We never really thought about going to it, but eventually we did. Everyone, including the pastors, Richard, Debbie, and Bob, welcomed my family with God's open arms. My life has changed a lot throughout my experience at this church. Let me explain a couple of them with you. When I was 14, my brother had just been diagnosed with ALS. For those of you who may not know about ALS, ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Yeah, it's a long word. This disease basically slowly disables every motor function that you have. You start not being able to eat, you can't swallow. You get the point. I've had to watch my own best friend suffer and fight this disease for the past 5 years. When my parents first told me news about this, I couldn't accept it. I questioned to myself, why him, God? Out of everyone, why does it have to be him? Unlike most siblings, I got along with my brother so well. We both have been through tough times together and have such a strong bond that I had no idea what to do as soon as my brother was hospitalized. I was alone with no one to talk to. I believe right around this time, the church started to do things for my family. I remember the countless times I've gotten a ride to church from the Lohrs, the countless meals the church has and still is providing. I didn't see it at the time, but I had all the support I could get. I remember the numerous times that I have questioned the existence of God. I thought to myself, why won't God give me an answer as to why my brother has to go through this? Why can't you tell me the reason why my family has to go through this? Now thinking about it, I realized that this was God's sacrifice. Just like how he sacrificed his only son, Jesus. He sacrificed my brother, who has no reason to die but to teach everyone something. I realized that my brother does not want me to live my life filled with sadness, but with confidence and a strong heart. I have so much more I would like to tell you all, but some things are meant to be talked about in private. Everyone who has ever helped me or my family, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I especially want to thank Allison Mark, Paul Audley, Miranda Lohr, and Thomas Elrod. for all the times that you have helped me emotionally when I am in need. I want to thank my fellow youth for always understanding my situation and always standing by my side. I want to thank my parents for all the support they have given me and for all the life lessons I have learned from them. And finally, I want to thank my brother Hajime. I know you're not here right now, but I also know that you can hear me. Thank you for being a fighter. You have inspired so many people, including me, in so many ways, and I can never thank you enough for giving me the amount of confidence that I have now. Thank you.